Hey, this is LaughNapkin. Thanks for checking out my channel. This video comes from the subreddit Entitledparents. The topic of this story is, you can't use an EpiPen in here. But before I start, be sure to smash that subscribe button if you're new here. If you're not new, then I would like to thank you for supporting this channel. You are a true hero. So a little backstory. The story happened a few years ago. I have a severe nut allergy, so bad that my throat can swell and possibly close, even from the smell of nuts. I was visiting my grandparents in Boulder, Colorado for a while because my parents, who I was living with at the time, were on a cruise in the Caribbean. I had stayed around the house for a while that morning, and I was getting bored, so I decided to go downtown for lunch. I had been to a certain cafe which served paninis and other sandwiches for lunch in Boulder a couple of times, so I knew it was safe to eat there. It was a nice day out, so I ordered a sandwich and went outside to the dining area. My food came relatively quick, just as Entitled Parent and Clueless Kid arrived at the cafe. Entitled Parent ordered a panini and a coffee while getting nothing for his son, which I thought was odd since he was loudly complaining that he was hungry multiple times since they walked in. They sat down at a table next to me and I noticed her son staring at my food. I waved at him, and then went back to eating my sandwich. Entitled Parent got her food, and her son just started to complain that he was hungry again. She sharply whispered something to him, reached in her purse, and bought out a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for his son. I did not notice at the time, as I was on my phone and still eating my food. It was only when I finished eating my sandwich that I started feeling choked. I immediately looked around me, because this cafe was completely devoid of nuts, when I saw Clueless Kid chewing on his sandwich. I said, "Hi, would you please tell me where you got that sandwich?" Clueless Kid stares at me blankly. Entitled Parent says, "That's none of your business. Stop bothering my son." I was starting to feel weak. I always carry an EpiPen with me when I go out in public, so I took it out of my pocket when Entitled Parent starts screaming, "You cannot use that here. I'll call the effing cops, you pervert, trying to teach my son how to use drugs." The waiter rushes over. Waiter says, "Hello, ma'am, that is not a drug. That looks like an EpiPen." I could barely breathe at this point. I just needed to get an injection. The woman then proceeded to snatch my EpiPen from my hands and throw it into the street. Another waitress ran out the door to retrieve my EpiPen, while the waiter started yelling at her, while her kid starts crying. Waiter says, "What the F? He looks like he's gonna die." He calls 911 while making sure she stays where she is. At this point, I'm curled up on the floor, fighting for every breath. The waitress runs back inside and hands me the EpiPen. I could barely release the safety and stick it in my leg. The police arrive a few minutes before the paramedics do, first questioning Entitled Parent and the waiter, then arresting her after spotting a prescription drug bottle that didn't belong to her inside her purse. I don't know what happened to her kid, but I was taken to the hospital, feeling much better after the EpiPen, and released almost immediately after getting a new pen. That's the end of the story. People should get educated about what EpiPens look like, and why someone might need one. OP could have died. Anyways, I want to thank everyone for the support of this channel. I appreciate every single one of you. New videos will be uploaded daily, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to stay up to date with these crazy stories. See you next time.